that it could be pernicious anemia. But mind you, we have some people, about 10% of the populations, that will produce antibodies against parietal cells, yet they don't have pernicious anemia. But as high as 80%, 85% of the patients with antibodies against parietal cells will have this. Remember, parietal cells and HCl. It means that you are going to have problems with HCl production. That can lead to acrohydria, predisposing the patient to digestion issues and immune defense issues. You need HCl to kill pathogens that comes with the food that you have taken. Yes, tomorrow we are going to continue with PUD, then we'll hit on this again. So these are investigations that you do. Don't forget methyl malonic acid and homocysteine. What do? Replace. You just don't have them. Folic acid, B12. So replace. Folic acid, we know that locally, if you are dealing with a 5 milligram tablet, you can give up to 15 milligrams. So if you see a prescription with folic acid stating 5 milligram TDS, 15 milligram is the maximum dose. Don't go and say that is a care issue. You can do up to 15 milligrams per day, folic acid. A child or a baby with neural tube defect, or there is a history of neural tube defect in your family, you won't lose guard. We will give you high dose of folic acid, not exceeding 15 milligrams per day, though, to make sure that we produce enough DNAs, enough proteins to avoid that. If you don't have that history, you can relax and take the 400 micrograms. That is between 350 to 500 micrograms. It's even better if you take it before so that you have enough stores. Remember, we said the body doesn't store much. So you need to load way before. Remember, in the first 3 months, that is when the fetus is being developed. And at that time, you need high levels of protein synthesis.
Please, I have a question.
Okay, ask your question.
And please, for the deficiency of the folic acid, you mentioned drugs. So I wanted to find out if for vitamin B12 to certain drugs can cause vitamin B12 deficiency, because we learned that metformin and then the chronic use of PPIs can also precipitate vitamin B12 deficiency, or it's not significant. That's what you mentioned.
I was going to ask you, but you have answered the question, so that is clear.
Okay.
So there is no question again. Are you okay?
Yes.
Are you okay? All right, you have answered the question. Okay. So if you don't have any risk of neural tube defect, then you can take on average the 500 micrograms. Remember, taking folic acid as part of the antenatal care together with the anti-malarials at quickening. You take SP, full course once every month till you give birth. The interference of SP, that is sulfadoxine, parametamine, and folic acid. If you are taking the 400 micrograms, no interference. If you are taking the 5 milligram, that is 5,000 microgram and above, you need to skip the folic acid on the day that the SP is being taken. This is antenatal stuff. That is what they do. So for treatment of megaloblastic anemia, very simple. Replace the ones that are missing. Is it folic acid? Give. Is it B12? You give. All right. So B12, how do we get it? Hydroxycobalamin by IM. We are choosing that one over cyanocobalamin because that one has a longer duration of action. It stays longer in the body and it comes with fewer reaction issues. So the UK guys are always going with IM hydroxycobalamin. But the US guys, they prefer cyanocobalamin with all the negatives. So hydroxycobalamin, especially for pernicious anemias. We are dodging the GIT because we can't absorb intrinsic factor issues. Yes, this same B12 can be used in the management of neuropathy, but at a different dose as compared to when you are replacing. Always note that there is always 1% chance of B12 being absorbed passively, not depending on intrinsic factor. But that 1% will not be enough to save you. So you by all means need intrinsic factor. I repeat, there is always 1% passive absorption of B12. That doesn't depend on intrinsic factor. Obviously not enough to help you. So intrinsic factor will always remain very important in B12 absorption. If you have that problem, Dutch, go and use the injectable forms. Hydroxycobalamin is an option for you. If you are vegetarian but without pernicious issues, you can go and buy the capsules of B12 and take it so that you don't get B12-induced megaloblastic anemia. You can take it from time to time. All right. Class captain, any issues? What says the time now? We are making progress. So we are done with the macrocytic, that is the megaloblastic anemias. We have done 3 of the microcytic anemias. We are hitting on the hemolytics. With that, we will do one of the microcytics here, that is thalassemias. And we are going to do all the other types, GCSPD induced, sickle cell disease induced. Then we do the autoimmune reaction, and that will be it for anemias. We still have some 2 or 3 meetings on anemias before we can finish. 3 questions. Else, class captain, can we close if it's time?
Yes, please, time.
Yes, please.
Okay, so again, tomorrow we are having our exclusive meeting with only the online group between 3 and 6 p.m. The in-person group will again meet Dr. Ishak. We are continuing with our discussion on peptic ulcer disease. Tomorrow we will finish. So next week, Sunday, we will do another GIT topic. But on Saturdays, we will keep our combined class. So we are done with the anemias and hypertension. Class captain, any announcement? Any announcement, please? Class captain, are you there? Do you have any announcement for the group? All right. So any concerns so far? Anything outside the actual meeting, as in the discussion? Is there anything that some of you would want to touch on that maybe if we do it can improve? Yes, sir.
I have a concern.
Okay.
Last week, the Sunday class.
Can you speak up a bit? Can you speak up?
Yeah. Last week's Sunday's class. Can you hear me, please?
Yeah, it's okay.
I was not able to join. I think I sent a message to you, but then there was no response. And then I sent a message to one of the class captains, but then there was no response.
Okay. So normally, if I start the class,
will be addressed.
Yeah, if I start the class and you send a message to me, obviously it will be very difficult for me to address whilst I'm in the act of teaching. But I think the problem was all about doing the list for the in-person and then the online group and having the combined one. But now it's resolved. So we have very few people normally having issues. At times too, he will send and it may not even as in get to the receiver. I don't know why. But this week, as in today, we didn't have any problem. And I'm sure it's going to continue like that. So sorry for that, but I hope that it doesn't repeat again. I'm very sure that it will be fine henceforth. All right. Any other issue?
Thank you.
All right. So tomorrow, 3 p.m., we'll meet and then have our discussion on PUD. All right. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you too. Bye.